Good morning.
Hello. Your location looks beautiful.
Good morning, Aruna.
Good morning.
So we will go ahead and get started. We are going to work on twisting positions today, but I also want to work on some chest opening. So upper back strength, chest opening, and twisting is what we have on the agenda. And we'll get started lying down on the back. So when you're ready to begin, you'll lay down in Shavasana. So the breath work that we're going to do is going to be really similar to that, but it will be a little bit more, I don't know the right word, not aggressive, but it will be a little bit more challenging perhaps. You're going to set the hands on the belly. And then go ahead and take that full inhale. So let the belly inflate, feel the ribs expand, feel the chest rise, upper back expand. When you get to the top of the breath, you'll pause for a moment. So hold it at the top. And now take an extra sip of air in so it feels really tight. Hold. And then we'll control the exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Brief hold for a moment. And then inhale again, fill up the belly, fill up the ribs, fill up the chest. Fill up all the way to the collarbone. See if you can have a sense even of the sinuses expanding. When you do get to the top, you'll pause. And then extra sip of air in through the nose. Hold it. Controlled exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold after you've emptied completely. Pause there on empty. If you want, you can also add in Mula Bandha here or engage the pelvic floor like you're sucking up from the bottom. Go ahead and relax the pelvic floor if you have it. Inhale, fill up the belly, fill up the ribs, fill up the chest. When you get to the top of that breath, pause for a moment. Extra sip of air through the nose. It should feel pretty tight at that point. Pretty full. And then exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you're using Mula Bandha, engage the pelvic floor muscles. Draw the belly button slightly down towards the ground as well, engaging Uddiyana Bandha. You can tuck the chin just slightly. Good. Release the locks if you have them. Inhale, fill up the abdomen, fill up the ribs, fill up the chest. When you get to the top, do pause at your own rhythm. Take the extra sip at your own rhythm this time too. And this time we're going to do the engagement of the locks if you're using them. No worries if you're not. Engage at the top. So pelvic floor draws up, Mula Bandha draws in, or Uddiyana Bandha draws in. Little tuck of the chin. Think of locking the throat, like you're holding everything into the container from throat space to pelvic bowl. Go ahead and exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause at the bottom, just relax the body completely. Inhale, fill up the belly, fill up the ribs, fill up the chest at your own pace. So again, when you get to the top, you'll hold it for a moment. You'll take an extra sip at your own rhythm, and then you'll engage the locks if you're using them. So pelvic floor draws up, navel draws down towards the floor. Chin tucks just slightly, so again, it feels kind of like you're containing everything from head to pelvic bowl. Release the locks and exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Empty. Just relax the body completely. This will be our last one. So full release of the body, Shavasana. Start your inhale, filling up the belly, ribs, chest at your own pace, all the way to the top. Pause, extra sip at the top. When you get to that pause, if you're engaging the locks, take that. Release the locks and exhale. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax the body completely. Release the weight of the heels. Return your breath to normal, so it's probably lengthened naturally now, but just return it to a very, very normal pace for your own body. Good. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Rotate your wrists and ankles. And then on a long inhale, reach the arms overhead, full body stretch. Let the back arch away from the ground for this one. So the low back arcs up, the belly stretches, the armpits, the triceps stretch, fingers spread. Point the toes so you stretch the tops of your feet and shins too. And then moving with an exhale, hug both knees into the chest, wrap the arms around the shins and start to rock left and right. Side to side, massage out the low back, the back of the hips. Little bit of pressure in the hip creases because we're closing the front of the hips. Good. We're going to take this into a twist. So as you send your arms out to a T, palms down, drop your knees to either side. Let the weight of the legs fall to that side. If you want to make it deeper, place your hand on top of the top thigh. You might look over the opposite shoulder. Adding in a little bit of breath work here. Inhale to fill up the torso. Imagine you're especially filling up the low back. And then stay in the twist for the exhale. Gently draw the belly button in. Try to lengthen both hips away from the shoulders. Pin the shoulders down. Then draw it back to center. Switch sides and take the same setup you did on the previous side. So if you're using the hand for more support downward, do that. Try to press that elongated shoulder down towards the ground, maybe look over it. As you take the next inhale, imagine you're filling up, especially the pelvic bowl and the low back. Keep inflating all the way to the top. Stay in the twist on the exhale, gently draw the belly button in. Try to elongate the tailbone away from the crown. And then bring it back to center. If your hips need to move to the middle of the mat first, go ahead and reposition your hips back to the center if they've shifted left or right. Bring your hands down by your sides, palms flat, and we'll go into a bridge pose. So from here, push the feet down firm, lift the hips up high. Now do keep the heels down, do keep the balls of the feet pressing down. Try to use the grounding of your feet as you would Tadasana feet. So imagine you're standing there at the top of your mat prepping for a sun salutation. And oftentimes I will cue, many teachers will cue to press the feet down and rebound up through the spine, up through the crown of the head. So imagine that same action here, but of course that stops at the knees. So you're pushing the feet down. As you drive up through the knees, the femur bones lift higher. Nice. And the pubic bone rises. Now, if you want to go a little bit deeper, you can interlace the fingers behind you. I'll recommend crawling the shoulder blades very close if you're taking that. Press the hands down, whether it's pinkies or palms, press into the earth. Lift up a little bit higher. This will be only one bridge, and it's going to be a long bridge, long bridge hold. So lift the chin away from your collar. Start to press the sternum towards the nose. So chin stays lifted, but sternum presses up, 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 up towards the nose. Imagine a little rainbow arc going from breastbone to tip of the nose. Good. We're going to hold for a couple more breaths. So see if you can find some kind of adjustment that would make it feel a little bit stronger. It could be anything. Good. We're going to be here for 5, so continue to breathe deep for 4, 3, 2. Stay on the 1. Lift your arms overhead like you would in a full body stretch. Lift the heels off the earth, and then slowly roll your spine to the mat like you're zippering the spine to the ground. Very slow, steady pace. When you do get the hips down, go ahead and lower your heels, but keep the arms in place. Start to windshield wipe the knees side to side so you feel a stretch, especially in the psoas, especially in that space between hip bones and floating ribs. Deep belly breaths. Good. And then bring your knees back to center. Hug both knees into the chest. Bring the nose up towards the knees. We're going to do a little bit of core work by telepathic request. So as you draw into a tight little ball here, try to stamp the low back down to the ground. The next time you inhale, stretch the arms and legs out, but hover the hands and the feet. So that full body stretch is hovering like a canoe. And then exhale, hug the knees into the chest. Use the breath to fuel the movement. So the whole inhale takes your limbs out to hover, and the whole exhale curls you in. Good. At the peak of your inhale, you're in that stretch. And at the base of your exhale, you'll meet that ball. Keep it going on your breath pace. Continue to stamp the low back down. And if your neck, the front of the neck feels a little bit tense, you can also do this with just the legs, and you can rest the back of the skull in the palms. So you would bend the elbows and release the hands behind you. There's a way, there's a way, there's a way, there's a way, there's a way. It has always, always. It has always. Good, and if you haven't already, you might start to incorporate Ujjayi breath into that. So as you exhale, a little whisper sound in the back of the throat. Do 3 more on your own. And when you're finished, come into that tight little ball, but rest the head down on the ground. Before we release the compression of the abs, we're going to do one more exercise that will target more of the side abs. So interlace your hands behind the head. We're going to send the right leg straight forward, rest the heel down on the ground. You're actually going to push down on the earth with the back of your right heel. So not just resting it there, but pressing it downward into the ground. It will turn on the hamstring. Now you're going to touch your right elbow to your left knee. Come back to center. And then extend the left leg up to the sky and tap right fingers to left toes. And we'll just keep that action going. You'll inhale to center, exhale to twist and tap, inhale to center, exhale to twist and tap. And you can make it as slow or as fast as feels good to stay present with it. So continue to inhale, center, exhale, tap at your own rhythm. You can move that left leg as much as you'd like. So maybe you want to send it down in between and make it a little bit harder. Or maybe you want to keep it lifted and keep the knee bent in between. So your choice there. Be a little bit creative with it. If there's any other adjustment to it that would make it feel better for you, do that. And then once again, if you do want to work with the Ujjayi breath and you're not already, go ahead and incorporate it in, exhaling, making the sound of a whisper in the back of the throat. Good. And this time you're going to lower the left heel all the way down to the ground. Right away, straight change to the other side. So left elbow taps the right knee. Left fingers tap the right toes. See if you can keep tension on the abs the whole time. So even on the inhale, have that sense of drawing low back down, navel cinches down towards your mat. And then we'll go ahead and bring both legs down to the ground. Press the back of both heels down into the earth and stretch your arms overhead. That pushing down of your heels might feel similar to when you're pushing the feet down in a wheel pose. So press back of the heels down, not the soles of the feet, but back of the heels down. Arch the back. So what I'm trying to get you to do is use the pressing of the heels to bring a little bit more of a back bend into your stretch. Good, and then press the tailbone into the ground, the sacrum into the ground, and draw the knees into the chest. This time you're gonna take the hands to the backs of the thighs, rock yourself eventually into a tabletop. So if you wanna rock and roll a few times and eventually land in a tabletop, you can do that. If you wanna shift right away onto all fours, go ahead and take that. A few rounds of cat-cow just to stretch the belly and the back. So inhaling to arch, exhaling to round.
To move along the surface of colossal masses from above, we see, we soar, we shove, capturing the actual
Beautiful. Make your way to a down dog so you can tuck the toes, lift the hips, start to pedal out the feet when you get there. Any movements that will feel nice to warm yourself up in down dog, take those. It could even be shifting into different poses and back to down dog. We're going to take about 10 breaths here and then we're going to hold. With the theme of twists today, our hold is going to be in a twist. So when you're ready for it, you're going to walk your feet a little bit closer, take an awkward short down dog stance, and then move your left hand first to the outside of the right calf. So opposite hand to opposite calf. If you have very flexible calves and hamstrings, you can slide the palm down to cup the heel and then press both heels down. So especially that left heel is going to want to, even it likes to do tricks. So even if it's not off the earth, really stamp it down hard. Left heel down. That should help you shift your hips to neutral. So instead of piking or peeking the hips out to the right, you'll shift them to the center. Take one more inhale, big expansion of the abdomen. One more exhale, pull the navel in. Release the left hand and trade sides. Right hand to the outside of the right calf, left calf. Right hand to the outside of the left calf. And then again, right heel pushes down. You might slide the right hand down to cup the ankle or the heel. Big inhale to fill up the low back and mid back. And then exhale to pull all areas of the abdomen to the back. Release the right hand back down. From that short stance, walk the feet forward all the way to the top of the mat for a forward fold. Now a couple of options with your forward fold. You can bend the knees, you can rest the hands down, you can also grab opposite elbows, hang the torso heavy. If you feel already up for straight leg, you can set the hands down so fingertips line up with toe tips and try pressing the base of your palm to the earth as you fold in. Good. Whatever forward fold you have going on, try now to evenly distribute the weight on all areas of the feet. So notice if you might have more weight in the balls of the feet or the heels. And not because it's right or wrong, but just for the purpose of foot to earth connection. We're going to press all areas down. All 5, all 10 toe prints, balls of the feet, heels. Good. Now relax the head, the neck, shoulders completely so the head gets as heavy as a bowling ball. It pulls the upper back a little bit longer. Place your left hand down on the floor in front of your face. Bend your left knee and reach your right arm up. So big open twist to the right. And then release the right hand down on an exhale, trade sides. If the backs of the legs are tight, both knees can stay bent. Release that left hand down on the exhale. If both legs are pretty open, reach the right arm up, inhale. Then you can straighten the leg in the direction that you're twisting. Release the right hand down, exhale. Inhale with the left arm. Extend your neck out of your upper back and shoulders. Exhale, release left hand down. And then inhale, right arm up, big breath in, fill up. Exhale, release it down. Now imagine, inhale, left arm up, that the neck travels all the way up through the crown, or just imagine a straight line, imaginary line. Release the left hand down. Inhale, right arm up. So imagine the neck, exhale, right hand down, traveling past the crown. Try to get really long in the spine. Go ahead and bend both knees, round the back, Roll up to stand, vertebrae, vertebrae, vertebrae. We're gonna come all the way to Tadasana pose. And then you'll find those bridge pose feet once again. So all areas of the feet pushing down firm, rebounding up through the shin bones, through the knees, through the femurs, up through the spine, all the way through the crown of the head. So very long line, very taut line through the body. Good, and then take an inhale, reach the arms up overhead. As you exhale, come back down to your forward fold. Halfway lift on the inhale. Straight back to plank on the exhale. So plant the palms, step into plank pose. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Good, and then as you exhale, either lower the knees and take a modified chaturanga or go straight to down dog. On your inhale, untuck your toes, toenails on the mat, lift the chest, cobra. And then exhale, rise through tabletop, so toe prints to the earth, lift the hips up to down dog, deep breath in, inhale. Stay put with the exhale. Good, bend both knees, look between your thumbs, and either step, step, or hop to the top of the mat for a fold. Halfway lift on your inhale. Forward fold on your exhale, and then we'll rise to stand. Big inhale, reach up, look at your hands, and then pull the thumbs to heart center and look straight forward. Let's do a little bit quicker. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, halfway lift, use the whole breath to meet it, and then the whole breath to get to plank, exhale. Hold plank for an inhale and choose either down dog or chaturanga, and as you exhale, go ahead and take your option. You can do modified, you can do full. If you're in down dog, stay. If you're in chaturanga, inhale to a back bend. And then exhale, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Inhale in down dog. Exhale in down dog. Bend the knees, look forward, either opposite footsteps forward this time or hop to forward fold. Halfway lift on your inhale. Use the whole breath to get there, and then exhale, forward bend. Inhale, rise to stand, reach up, look up, and then pull the thumbs to heart center. Walk your feet all the way together at the top of your mat. Inhale to a chair pose, bend the knees. We're not here long, squeeze the knees together. Forward fold on your exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Plank pose to chaturanga or down dog on the exhale. Same exhale takes you down or back. Inhale to a back bend or stay in down dog. Exhale, we all meet in down dog. On your inhale, lift the right leg. And on your exhale, step the foot between the palms for warrior one. So you're gonna spin your left heel down, rise up, warrior one. We'll hold it for a couple of breaths. So once you get there, find the knife edge of the left foot pushing down firm. Take your right hand to the upper back, left hand to the right elbow. Push the hand down. If you want to take the full cow-faced bind, you can also interlace the hands or cup the fingers together behind the upper back. Or you can keep that left hand on the right elbow. Good, one more inhale, lift the head up, lift the chin up. And then as you exhale, release the hands to the ground, step back to plank pose for chaturanga or down dog. Same exhale takes you down or back. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, we meet down dog. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, step it through for warrior one. So you'll spin right heel down first, and then the inhale will take you up. First warrior, look straight ahead. 3 deep breaths here. Now place the left hand on the upper back, right hand cups the elbow, start to push the fingers down between the shoulder blades. If you took full cow face, go ahead and take it on this side too. Full inhale. Hands down for chaturanga or down dog on the exhale. Go ahead and move back. Inhale for a back bend. Exhale for a down dog. Now we're going to take 5 full breaths to rest. If you want to take the resting pose as down dog, you can do that. If you'd rather take child's pose or dolphin pose or forearm stand, you can do that. 5 deep breaths. Keep the breath on a metronome here. So maybe 5, inhale, 5, exhale. Maybe 4, maybe 3. If you're not in down dog, move there. From down dog, bend the knees, look at your thumbs, and as you exhale, leap to the thumbs, fold. Halfway lift as you scoot the feet together. Forward fold, nose to shins. Chair pose on the inhale, bend the knees, lift the chest. And then stand up, pull the thumbs to heart center as you exhale. Pause here for a moment, deep inhale to fill up. Stay with the exhale, suck the navel in, pelvic floor up, crown of the head up. Inhale, chair pose. This one's a longer hold. We're gonna pull the thumbs down to heart center. Let's twist right elbow first to the outside of the left thigh, so spinning the chest to the left. Pull the sternum towards the thumb knuckles. You might separate the heels just a little bit here to make space for the hips. And then make sure that the knees haven't shifted one in front of the other. So both knees locked together, side by side. Take an inhale. Good, stay with the exhale. Sit the hips deeper. Twist a little bit further if you've got it. Inhale to center chair. We're gonna take a forward fold in between. Go ahead and straighten the legs. Rest the hands down on the floor. Relax the weight of the head. Good, and if you have readjusted the feet, move the big toes at least back together, bend the knees, chair pose, inhale. Stay in chair, thumbs to heart center as you exhale. Good, inhale, lift the chest, and let's twist to the opposite side on the exhale. Left elbow hooks the right thigh. Spin the sternum towards the thumbs. Nice work, you guys. Pull the spine long, inhale, fill up. Exhale, twist deeper. Inhale, chair pose. Forward fold on the exhale. Go ahead and separate the feet hip distance apart. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to a chaturanga or down dog. So same exhale takes you back. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, we meet down dog. On the inhale, lift the right leg. A little bit more core work, but with the emphasis of twisting, we're gonna take right knee to left tricep. Touch, and then inhale, send it back up to three-legged dog. That stretch should feel really nice as you exhale. Right knee, left elbow. Inhale, send it back, send it up. 3 total. Exhale to tap, right knee, left elbow. Inhale, send it up and back. And then as you exhale, step the right foot between the palms for warrior 2. You'll spin the left heel down. Cartwheel the arms up and open. Good. Same bind we took before, right hand on the upper back, left hand on the elbow. You can either guide the fingers down, or this time if you're feeling a little bit more space, you'll hook left fingers, cup the right fingers. You could also grab your shirt here. And then just gently press the back of your skull into your right forearm to bring a little bit more leverage of opening in that right tricep. Inhale to release the bind to warrior 2 arms. Stay with the exhale, look over the right fingers. And then inhale to reverse warrior, left hand down the back leg, right arm reaches up and overhead. Feel a stretch right above the armpit. Take an inhale again. Move to side angle on the exhale. Right elbow on the right thigh, left bicep by the ear. Now you can also bind here, so if you want to wrap the left arm behind you, go ahead and hook the left fingers inside of the right hip crease. Spin your chest up, so left shoulder rolls back. Good. If you have the bind, release, left arm back up. Push the left foot down, pull the left arm up to a warrior two arm and rise to warrior two. Straighten out the right leg. Quarter turn the right foot so that both feet are parallel to the short edges of the mat. Turn the palms up and then hop the heels in. Go ahead and bend elbows, knees, and wrists to come down into your goddess squat, and adjust the feet as you need to get heels under the knees. So heels under knees, shins perpendicular to the floor. Yes, good. Lift the elbows up in line with the shoulders. Pull the elbows back, flat palms, stretch the fingers. Take an inhale. Deeper on the exhale. Draw tailbones straight down. Big inhale. Good. Inner thighs light up. Exhale. Stay on the inhale. Breathe into the belly of the thighs. Stay on the exhale. Keep the hips low, but drop the hands to the thighs. Your thumb is going to wrap the inner thigh, and all four fingers will wrap the back of the thigh. Go ahead and sink the weight down into your hands. So instead of your goddess pose legs holding you up, it's more the arms. Go ahead and let the hips drop. Take the right shoulder to the center. As you twist to the left, look up past your left shoulder. And then switch. Inhale through center and exhale. Left shoulder dips in. As the right shoulder dips back, look up past that right shoulder. Inhale to center and exhale to switch. Good. Inhale to center. Exhale to switch. Inhale to center, hold. Keep the knees bent for a moment, set your fingerprints down on the floor, and then as you straighten the legs, pick up the toes and pigeon toe the feet. So you're just going to spin the toes in and fold down all the way into a wide-legged forward fold. Good. Now your choice. You can do horsey lips here. You can breathe natural through the nose. If you're doing horsey lips, inhale and then flutter the lips on the exhale. 2 more. Big inhale. Exhale. And that's a really good one because you have to relax the jaw to do it. So try it out. 1 more big inhale. Release. Yes. Good. Place the hands down right under your shoulders. Inhale to a halfway lift. And then exhale to adjust your feet longer. Crawl the hands around to frame the front foot. Set the back knee down for just a moment for lizard pose. You're going to crawl the right foot to the right. Place both hands down in line with the right heel. Base of the palm in line with the right heel. Good. Press up out of the palms. Lift up out of the shoulder sockets. If you want to go deeper, bend the left knee more. Reach back up and back with the right hand to grab that left foot. Spin the chest to the right. Let the neck be, this looks excellent. Let the neck be a long extension of the spine so you're still conscious of the neck. Keeping it in line with the rest of the spine, letting the natural rotation carry all the way through. Good. Big rainbow sweep of that right hand to release it. If you have it, go ahead and take it up and around. Land the back toes for a plank pose. You're going to step back with the right foot. Inhale in plank. Down dog or chaturanga on the exhale. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Big inhale in down dog. Steady exhale, down dog. Left leg up, inhale. Left knee, right tricep as you exhale. Inhale, send it up and back. Exhale, tap. Left knee, right tricep. Good. Big inhale, stretch it up and back. Exhale, last time to tap. Inhale, send it up and back. Exhale, land it between the palms for second warrior. Right heel spins down, arms cartwheel up and open. Take the left hand to the upper back, right hand to the elbow. Start to guide the fingers down the upper spine. Gently push the back of your skull into your left forearm. Give yourself some leverage to stretch the left tricep. If you're taking the full bind, go ahead and find that position, hook the fingers. I notice a tendency in myself here to pop the rib cage out, so try to close this space. Hip bones draw up towards the floating ribs corset down towards the abdomen. That will give you more length in the back, the low back. Release cow-faced on an inhale, warrior 2 arms. Stay on your exhale. And then reverse your warrior on an inhale. Tip up and back, big stretch. Side angle on your exhale. Left elbow to the left thigh, right bicep by the ear. Good. If you took the bind on the other side, wrap your right arm behind the back. Hook the right fingers inside of the left hip crease. Roll the right shoulder back. Maybe look up to the ceiling or the sky. Push the right pinky toe, edge side of the foot down. If you have the half bind, release, right bicep back up by the ear. Use the right hand almost like it's a pulley to come all the way back up. So right arm goes back into warrior 2 arm, left arm meets it. This time as you straighten out both legs, you're gonna quarter turn the left foot, reach both arms up. And then from that lifted, arm lifted position, go ahead and hop the heels in, actually. Hop the heels in. Take the hands down to grab opposite elbows, bend the knees, and we're gonna make a big Ferris wheel circle with the torso of the elbows. So you're gonna drop the left elbow down towards the left inner thigh, left inner knee, sweep across the bottom over to the right. Push both feet down and inhale, rise up. Connecting the breath as you exhale, go ahead and stretch that right side of your spine, lower down to the left, sweep across the bottom. And then inhale, rise all the way to the top. Last time in this direction, keep it nice and slow. If it feels good to linger in any part of that Ferris wheel, you can linger. When you do get to the top, reverse it. So you'll exhale to the right. You'll keep exhaling as you sweep across the bottom, inhale, rise. Good, exhale all the way down, all the way across. And then inhale all the way up to the top. Last time in this direction. Nice work, you guys. Find an area of the spine that might need a little bit of a sticky release. When you get to the top on this one, you'll take the arms out to a T, keep your goddess pose legs, bend the elbows and wrists, add in goddess pose arms. Good, sink the hips down. Elongate through the collarbone, so left to right, long collarbones. Last 2 breaths, big inhale. And exhale. If you want to lift the heels, inhale. Exhale. Release heels, hands to hips, straighten legs. Inhale, reach both arms up like a star. And then exhale, take the hands to frame the left foot. We're going to turn into that lizard pose, so go ahead and pivot around, walk your left foot to the left. Place the palms down in line with your left heel as you lower the back knee. If you went for the quad stretch on the other side and the twist, go ahead and rainbow arc the arm up, and around. Grab the back foot. Spin the chest to the left. Keep the neck long and keep the natural rotation of the neck. Bind with the hand foot, rainbow arc the arm back around, land it in place. Tuck the right toes, make it a plank pose leg, and then step the left one back to meet it. Inhale in plank. Choose down dog or chaturanga on your exhale. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Good. This time we all take 5 breaths in an active pose and 5 breaths in a child's pose. So as you hold your down dog or dolphin, you can either bring the elbows down, walk the feet together, press the heels down, or if you're staying in down dog, drive through the fingers, the fingerprints, knuckles, palms, thumb prints. Drive all the way up out of the tailbone and then down through the femurs, shins, into the heels, into the ground. Deep pike in the hips. Last inhale. Last exhale. Wide-legged child's pose or wide-kneed child's pose. Bring the knees down to the outside edges of your mat or further. Big toes together to sit back slowly onto the hips. Lots of awareness back into that transition. Let it feel really good. Rest the forehead down when you get there. And take whatever positions would feel really nice. So maybe rocking forehead side to side. Maybe making a little shark fin over the head with the hands. Stretch out the triceps a little bit. You could take a twist here, anything that would feel nice. We'll go into one last standing twist series. As you press the palms down, rise up to tabletop, tuck the toes for down dog. From down dog, bend the knees and look forward, and as you exhale, try it out. Pounce forward so that the toes land in line with the fingers. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Stay in that fold. Interlace your hands in front of the right shin. We're going to start with the hard leg. Interlace your hands in front of the right shin. Press the left foot down and rise. Single-legged Tadasana pose. So you're going to bring that right thigh along for the ride. Good. Now cross your right ankle over the left thigh. Come into a standing figure four, hands to heart center. And then from here, inhale, stand taller. And exhale, take figure four, chair. Drop the hips down. Now a couple of options. You can stay in the figure four chair. If you want the benefits of the twist and this next part doesn't work out for you, then you can go into a chair pose and repeat the twist that we did earlier. But we're gonna try it out. Inhale, lift the chest up, keep the hips low. And then as you exhale, try to bring that right elbow or tricep to the left arch, right elbow to right arch of foot. Twist the chest to the left. You might be able to hook the tricep inside of the arch or under the arch. Spin the sternum towards the thumbs. Now one more option with that, if you want to come by a wall, you can also brace your hand or your hip on the wall. So your choice. If you want to use a wall, you'll have the left foot a little bit further away from the wall. You'll tuck the right tricep inside of that left foot. That actually is a nice way to practice even if you can balance, because you can give yourself a little bit more leverage to twist breastbone to thumbnails. So play around with that for about 7 more breaths on this side. If it gets boring, try to sit deeper. If it gets too tricky, come to chair pose, twist there.
It comes to me upon the strings when I hear it, well I sing.
And this one transitions eventually into an arm balance where you would do something similar to side crow, but you keep that connection of tricep and arch. Go ahead and release the right foot down. Sit down like a chair pose, but you're going to come into a little egg. So you're going to sit really deep. Try to hover the butt above the floor. Wrap the arms around the shins, curl in. And then you're going to slow spring out into a forward fold. So placing the hands down, start to straighten the legs. Lift the hips, chin to knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, and we'll rise on the inhale. Big reach up. Stretch the palms up above you, and then exhale, pull the thumbs down, right back in. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward bend. Good. Interlace the hands in front of the left shin. You might walk the feet further apart. Press your right foot down firm and start to rise up, single-legged Tadasana pose. We'll take that for a couple of breaths. And feel free to change up this side so it will feel different. It will be different. If you already want to move to a wall and do the whole series there, you can. If you want to not use the wall you did last time, do that. Cross your left ankle over the right thigh. The sides need different things, so they're not always equal. I don't really aim to get them equal. But if it drives you nuts, you can. We're gonna bring the hands to heart center. Sit deep into chair. Good. Now twist left tricep to the outside of the right. Or I'm sorry, the left. It's the same and it gets tricky. So left tricep or elbow to that left arch of foot. Spin the sternum towards the thumbs. And I guess my philosophy with that is I would rather the sensations feel equally satisfying rather than one side feeling really angry because I want to get to the same place. So that's my philosophy with that. That's why I'm not necessarily trying to get the sides the same, but do what you need to do. You're bracing yourself on the wall. It might be nice to have the right hip against the wall this time. You have about 5 more breaths on this side, so if you want to explore something new, take the new thing. If you're at a loss of how to go deeper, try to get the sternum to spin towards the thumbnails and set the hips low. Elongate through the spine. I'm going to take a peek. Nice. Oh yes. Yeah, I like the use of the wall. I think that that's a really good way to be able to get the depth and rotation. Go ahead and come down, both feet to the floor. Sink yourself into that cosmic egg. Wrap the arms around the shins. Drop the nose to the divot between the knees. Inhale. Slow spring to forward fold on the exhale. Push the hips up, straighten the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to a last chaturanga. Step or hop the feet back. Bend the elbows. You'll inhale to a cobra or up dog. Exhale to a downward facing dog. Deep pike in the hips. Big inhale. Stay with the exhale. Good. Walk your hands back about mid-mat, or maybe a third back on the mat. You have this really awkward down dog now, very short stance. Bend the knees, look at the top edge of your mat, and then try to hop through so your butt lands between the palms, the legs at the top of the mat, heels at the top of the mat. Inhale, reach the arms up. Just the left hand to the outside of the right foot, right hand to the low back. Left heel is going to want to push further forward, but don't let it push the right heel forward just as much. Good. And then spin the chest towards the right. Good. Very flamboyant with the right arm. You're going to reach it up and around. And then grab the outside of the left foot. Both hands are grabbing the feet now. Elbows are crossed. Bend the elbows if you need to go deeper. Sink the chin in towards the legs. And then release the feet, round the spine, and roll up to a seat. At the top of your seat, inhale, both arms up. Same thing, other side. Right hand grabs the outside of the left calf, ankle, or foot. Both heels push forward. Knees can bend if you need. Yes. Yes, nice. Spin the chest towards the left. Keep checking in with the heels. And then exaggerated left arm, it reaches around, and grabs the outside of the right foot. If you need to go deeper, bend the elbows, sink the chin in towards the chest. Think of reaching your crown, top of the skull, towards the toenails. Release the feet, round the spine, and roll up to stand. Keep that roll going all the way down to the back so you can roll down to a full body stretch, reaching the arms overhead. Take an inhale. Hug the knees into the chest on the exhale. Final back bend, you're going to take your choice of back bend. It's always nice to practice when we do twisting postures, forward folds and back bends too, because then the spine gets really agile. So we'll finish off with a back bend of your choice. If you're going into wheel pose, I'll guide you from bridge, but you could go right in if you feel comfortable. Go ahead and press the feet down, lift the hips up. If you're going further, you're going to place the hands alongside the ears, fingers flip to face the shoulders. And just optionally, you can stay there. You can also start to push the hands down and press away from the earth. Hands and feet Drive down. Good. Tip the chin back, open up the throat. Pull here, big inhale. Good. Knees a little closer on the exhale. Imagine your legs are standing legs. Push down, inhale. Stay up with the exhale. This will be our last full breath cycle. Big inhale. Full exhale. And then slow release through a bridge pose. Lift the heels, roll the spine down so you get that massage along the vertebrae column on the way out. And then relax the arms down in that full body stretch position. Release the heels down, windshield wipe the knees side to side. Side to side. Good. Bring the knees back up to center. Bring the arms down by the sides. Coming into a plow pose, you're going to lift the hips off the ground. Stretch the legs up and back behind you. Try to land the toe prints on the floor. If you're not going into wheel, you can also do that waterfall pose. So if you're not, plow. If you're not going to plow, stretch the legs straight up. Go into a waterfall. Arms can rest alongside the body. This is a good core exercise as well, so I know it looks as if not a lot is going on. It will work your core. It will give you the benefits of an inversion. Keep the legs active, so you're trying to stretch the legs to straight. You're trying to flex the toes back and stretch the calves.
At this point in class, the recording is interrupted, but your next pose is going to be to lower the legs real slow and then take a 5-minute Shavasana. Thank you for joining me for class today. I hope you enjoy the rest of your practice, and I look forward to seeing you again real soon.